let's take it one further here.
Yeah.
So in 1848 was the year that the Communist Manifesto was published, which is 1 year to the day after the Saints were driven out of the United States.
So it's not just a conspiracy theory that Marxism and communism is demonic. There's literal quotes from Karl Marx saying that his soul is destined for hell. And
that he forfeited heaven.
Welcome back to Midnight Mormons, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Cardinellis, and today I'm joined in the studio by Kwaku L. and Brad Whitpeck. And back by popular demand again is Richard Stafford.
Yeah.
And guess what, Richard? Almost thou convinceth me to be a libertarian.
You know, I'm trying.
You're trying. Okay, so as the leader of one of the California Libertarian Party caucuses, well, not the caucus, but, you know, the movement.
Yeah, county affiliate party.
Yeah, whatever the term is. You want to do another deep dive, not deep dive, but you want to do another dive into the Great Reset Part 2. You totally intrigued Brad. Hit us with what you got.
So as part of my research and research of my colleagues, friends.
By the way, can I say you're looking super yoked? Look at that forearm and that bicep right there, dude. Yeah, dude.
We've been trying to make it back after the motorcycle accident.
Do you have to get those swole gains if you're libertarian? Like, is that part of the rules? Or
yes. What? You know, one rep for every time Alex Jones is right. So we just keep building mass.
Father in heaven, hallowed be our gains. You know what I'm saying? Okay, keep going. So some of the
additional information that's come about is we're talking about counterfeits last time, how Satan develops counterfeits to everything that God does. And it's not an opposite, but it's something that comes about as a fake during the same time.
True that.
So what happens in 1830 for the church? We get the release of the Book of Mormon. Mm-hmm. It's printed, it's distributed. The effort is dubbed the Restoration, and the church is given its name, right?
Okay.
So the church is officially organized. What is happening in 1830 in Europe during this same time?
Napoleonic Wars.
Okay?
Oh, dude,
French Revolution.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But there's three men that are named, and it's actually put out by Cambridge Press. They put it out in an article.
Okay.
If you want to Google European socialism from the 1790s to the 1890s, I will let their own words make my point for me.
Okay, so I'm looking up European socialism from what?
1790s to the 1890s.
1790s to the 1890s,
yep.
And that's by Cambridge Press?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So here it is by Cambridge Press, and this better be the first link, or else I'm going to be like, what the heck?
It should be the first link.
Oh my gosh, there it is, cambridge.org. Mm-hmm. Wow, people can see this happening in real time.
So let's read the summary here.
Okay, what's the summary?
It says, what came to be called socialism was a product of the turbulent years of the French Revolution and the Napoleonic Wars. The word entered political language in the 1830s and was universally associated with the work of three founding what?
Prophets. They actually call them prophets. What the heck?
So, at the same time as the Restoration?
So the birth of European socialism has its own prophets, its own three prophets that are counterfeits, right, of the Restoration, our prophets.
This is like Peter, Paul, and Mary. Oh, wait, that was like 60s music. But like, you know, like, wow, look at this. Holy smoke. The word entered political language in the 1830s, literally the same decade as the Restoration, and was universally associated with the work of the three founding prophets, their words, not ours, Henry de Saint-Simon, and Charles Fourier in France, and Robert Owen in Britain. Adolphe Blanqui, originally in 1837, described Fourier and Owen as utopian economists. Utopia, restoration, while Lawrence von Stein in 1842, only 2 years before the assassination and martyrdom of Joseph Smith, defined socialism as that theory that made work the sole basis of society and the state. Literally, behold, this is my work and my glory to bring to pass the eternal life of man. Behold, this is their work and their glory, the theory which made the work sole basis of society and the state. This is crazy.
So let's fast forward.
So Satan has a counterfeit of everything.
Right? And we actually can see his response looking back through history in real time of his response to what's going on with the restoration.
So if I understand you correctly, you're saying that this is proof that Marxism and socialism in the 1830s was Satan's direct response as a counterfeit of the restoration of the gospel in the same decade.
Let's take it one further, right?
Ooh,
let's take
he's
it
playing yes
let's take it one further here.
Yeah.
So in 1848 was the year that the Communist Manifesto was published, which is 1 year to the day after the Saints were driven out of the United States.
Wait, the Communist Manifesto dates back to 1838?
1848.
Oh, 1848. Okay.
Close, right? 1848, but it comes a year after the Saints are driven from the United States for its divine creation, for the freedom of religion. God's people are driven from this great land and its constitutional rule, which wasn't being upheld by the time.
Okay.
And so we can see Satan's response with the Communist Manifesto and its publication, because that is also a counterfeit of the law of consecration.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That
the
is
timing of this is really something.
Yeah, that is nuts. I mean, I'm looking at this right here. You know, Wikipedia, they never lie, but at least they get dates right.
Sure.
There it is, that originally published in London in 1848, the manifesto remains one of the world's most influential political documents. And there it is in black and white. It indeed happened. Wow, the exact same decade as the Restoration. So the whole communist bloc and all the ruin of the hundreds of millions of people killed under socialism and communism.
Correct.
Right after the Restoration. Oh my gosh.
You know, we're in the work of saving souls, right? And Satan is in the work of destroying souls. So what's another counterfeit to the saving of men and the perfecting of their bodies is
the destruction thereof and the enslavement
the destruction
thereof.
and enslavement.
Now, I remember you said
National
something
Socialist Party.
Yeah, I remember you said something in a conversation that like there's firsthand accounts of like Karl Marx coming to the door and having like wild eyes as though he were possessed. Like this is giving some credence to that right now.
Sure.
Am I off base or am I misquoting you? What's the story here?
No, you're absolutely correct. And
okay.
And
wait, really? I've never heard of this.
So granted,
Possessed Karl Marx?
So
you ever heard of this, Kwaku?
Oh yeah, I've heard of this.
Yeah. So
whoa, illuminate us, dog.
That's your job.
My job.
Oh yeah.
Okay. He was looking at you for it.
Oh no, I was looking at you.
Okay.
But okay, cool.
But so there's accounts that he has these interactions with people where he seems to be crazed, a sense of lunacy about him, right? And that could just be fervor. We can explain that away as just being really excited about something. But we know that when we actually get caught up in the spirit, it's more of a comforting reassurance. It doesn't drive us to act like a madman, go raving down the streets.
Yeah.
Right. It also, the spirit motivates us to do good, whereas Karl Marx, right, wasn't a motivated person. He was a freeloader. In fact, his own family loathed the fact that he just laid around and didn't do much. Whereas the gospel and the priesthood, the spirit, motivates us to do good. To actually live our lives. I'm just gonna
pause and interrupt you for one thing right here. You know how you said that, okay, Satan always has a counterfeit of everything?
Correct.
Okay, I find it intriguing here that as I look at the synopsis of the Communist Manifesto, it's divided exactly into 4 parts, literally just like the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible has the Gospels, the Acts, the Epistles, and then the Apocalypses, which is the book of Revelation.
Mm-hmm.
So the Communist Manifesto is divided into a preamble in 4 sections. The introduction begins, a specter in haunting Europe, the specter of communism. That is the bourgeoisie and the proletarians. Then the second section is proletarians and communists. The third section is socialist and communist literature. And then the position of the communists in relation to the various opposition parties is the 4th section. Their literal Bible has the exact... The Communist Manifesto is literally Satan's counterfeit of the freaking Bible.
Correct.
Dude.
That is some profound cheese, man.
Wait, I'm trying to find the actual... Because do you have the quotes written down?
I don't, not offhand.
Look them up while we're talking.
I'm trying to find it. Google makes it hard to.
Which quote are we looking for, by the way?
The quotes where Karl Marx literally talks about being sent by the devil.
Oh,
whoa.
Get out of town. I
Seriously?
That's some deep stuff, bro. Okay, so keep going. We'll look this up while you're talking.
So he's got his counterfeit to everything. So we've seen it with socialism.
Okay.
We talked previously about World Economic Forum being a counterfeit to the actual restoration. And the thing about counterfeits is that it's never just one counterfeit.
Yeah.
Everybody who tries to pass a counterfeit bill, there's always more than one, right?
Yeah.
In their pride and their arrogance, they think they can get away with it. And so they don't just, try to get away with 5s and 10s. They try to get away with 20s and 50s, 100s, right? In their arrogance, they try to pass multiples and in different valuations. So the same thing we have here is you've got socialism, you've got communism, you have a lot of anti-religious sentiments. You've got the very state, the United States, denying religious liberties and freedoms to its people.
And you know what's wild here is I'm reading more on this article. We just had this great talk given by Ahmed Corbett, right? Or Elder Ahmed Corbett.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the first presidency of the
about
Ahmed.
activism.
And he talked about activism against the church, famously ATC. And what did he say? He said activism, which takes you away from the doctrine of Christ, must always have a veneer of religiosity. Hence, we have phrases like, oh, I don't follow the brother, I just follow Jesus, right? Well, in spring of 1847, only 3 years after the Prophet of the Restoration was killed, Marx and Engels, who are known as, the two biggest communists out there, those that wrote all of the literature, right? Mm-hmm. Here it is on Wikipedia. They joined the League of the Just.
Yes.
Once again, it's got that veneer of religiosity. It's not the absence of God, but just the twisting of the replacement of God with your political ideology.
Showing that theirs is the moral choice to be making, right?
The subversion of true value.
Wow, this is absolutely crazy. I mean, okay, cool. What other examples you got? This is amazing, man. Or is this just cut and dry? We can slam it shut now and
you
just walk
can slam
away.
it shut now if you want, or you can do your own research because I don't want people to take my word for it. Right?
Okay.
I'm just some
here's
guy.
a quote. Dude, I swear, Google is getting. I found these quotes way back when easily. You can't find what you're looking for anymore in Google.
It's getting buried now.
Like they're burying everything. Here's one quote by Karl Marx from 1837. He said, "Thus heaven I forfeited, I know it full well. My soul, once true to God, is chosen for hell."
What?
Take them at their word.
He's got a lot of these, a plentiful amount, and man.
So it's not just a conspiracy theory that Marxism and communism is demonic. There's literal quotes from Karl Marx saying that his soul is destined for hell, and
that he forfeited heaven. Correct.
Who is the one guy in our church? He's the Darren Southam. Darren Southam does a video where he talks all about this. And he's like 80 quotes in the video, just quoting Karl Marx and communist founders, like where they literally say, I'm literally like have a covenant with the devil.
By the way, we clown on Darren Southam as being a little bit too mountain man and having one too many Ronald Reagan t-shirts in his closet. But let me tell you, when the apocalypse hits, I want to be his neighbor. When the zombies are coming out of the bushes and the Gadianton robbers are trying to, make it to the stake center, we got to go with our food storage and that 50 cal on the roof. I want freaking Darren Southam. And he's just like, I've been waiting for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want him in the back of the truck. Like we're going because Cyberdyne just straight up became self-aware. And he's the one shooting that laser at the hunter predator drone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want that boy in my camp. So we're going to keep clowning on you. Don't worry until that apocalypse happens. But hopefully you have a lot of Christ-like forgiveness once it does. And we can just go shoot zombies together. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, did you find any more, Kwaku?
I found one where he's boasting. He says, "I will be able to walk triumphantly like a god through the reigns of their kingdom. Every word of mine is power and action. My breast is equal to that of the Creator."
Whoa.
So he literally sounds like the devil himself there.
Uh-huh.
Holy smoke. So this sounds like legit demonic possession. Like, we joke about this other stuff. Like we've joked about saying, oh, so-and-so's demonic. Like, this ain't homeboy that decides he's gay and puts blood in some Nike shoes for a couple of years.
Lil Nas X.
Yeah, this
What a way to describe him.
I was trying to remember the kid's name. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Lil Nas X, trying to lap dance Satan in order to make a risque music
Karl
video.
Marx didn't make a slapper like Industry Baby, okay?
Exactly.
That's right.
That's true.
So, nor did he do a collaboration with Miley Cyrus's dad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
nor did he ever feed his family.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so like we all joke about, oh, that so and so's demonic, so and so's spread. This is like legit possession, dude. How does the world not know this crap?
They choose not to see it. I mean, the information's all out there. It's not like it's hidden. Well, I mean, you did just say that Google has been burying results. So it's harder to find if you're not actually looking for it. But it's all there. You can read it.
That's so crazy.
Jeez, man. And literally called, Peter Osborne argued that it was called the, quote, single most influential text written in the 19th century. Man, you know what's kind of crazy about that?
Oh, I have one here.
Okay.
So, Mikhail Bakunin?
Mm-hmm.
You guys know he's the Russian communist around the same time. Another big, all these guys have the beards and the...
Correct.
Yeah.
So all these guys were the contemporaries. A lot of them were buddies. And they all have weird, creepy demon quotes. So here's one quote from this man.
Yeah.
Here steps in Satan, the eternal rebel, the first free thinker and the emancipator of worlds. He makes man ashamed of his bestial ignorance and obedience. He emancipates him, stamps upon his brow the seal of liberty and humanity, and urging him to disobey and eat the fruit of knowledge. And here's what he said about God. God flew into a terrible and ridiculous rage. He cursed Satan, man, and the world created by himself, striking himself, so to speak, in his own creation, as children do when they get angry. And not content with smiting our ancestors themselves, he cursed them in all generations to come. So, these guys were on some other kind of...
Dude, and here's what's crazy is I just pulled up this quote. It's interesting that you say smite all generations. I mean, that sounds almost like the book of Genesis here, all right? Once again, Satan's counterfeit. How's this for Satan's counterfeit, all right? Pull back up the Wikipedia article, and it says, this is one of the philosophers extolling the Communist Manifesto, saying the single most influential text written in the 19th century. Dude, you know what that sounds exactly like? You grab your Book of Mormon here, and then you go to the title page.
Yep.
Yeah, if you open up to the title page, do you have it memorized, Brad? Because you have everything spiritual memorized because you're going to end up being a prophet 2027. But the rest of us plebeians don't. But look at this. It literally says, this is the most, this is the most perfect book. You know what I'm saying? The quote I'm looking for here. I can't find it right in front of me as I'm trying to look for it.
Oh, the most correct book.
Yeah,
Joseph
the most correct.
Book,
Joseph Smith said it's the most correct book, and man could get closer to God by obeying its precepts than any other book ever written, right? So, I mean, the Book of Mormon, which is the product of the Restoration, because your thesis was that the Great Reset is Satan's counterfeit of the Restoration,
correct,
right? And
or maybe the restored kingdom of God.
The Great Reset is Satan's counterfeit of the restored kingdom of God, and that the Communist Manifesto is basically Satan's counterfeit of, dare I say, the Book of Mormon, because both have a preamble and both have people claiming that it's the single most necessary and influential book for man's salvation.
Correct. And then we've got, Marx in his own words, in his fervor, declaring that he has forfeited heaven and that he's bound for hell.
Dude, this is crazy. So what do we do with this, man? What the heck?
You do what you're supposed to, which is follow the gospel, come closer to Christ, and eschew all that which is evil.
So how can you be a socialist and Mormon at the same time?
Cognitive dissonance.
Never reading the Communist Manifesto or any of Marx's quotes.
Because your run-of-the-mill Mormon socialist is a suburban kid in Salt Lake County with his iPhone and his Toyota Camry, and it's he's not a socialist. Yeah. He just wants to wear the pins and piss off his dad.
Yeah,
you
get tricked into it because you're told the moral arguments, right?
Yeah.
Saying in order to
or
really
you're shamed
be good,
into it oh, sorry if I just want to take care of poor people. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
And honestly, a lot of people get roped into it because of the teachings of Christ.
And to be fair, we are the weirdos. We dug up Satan quotes from Karl Marx. You know what I'm saying? Our Googles are the ones that are weirder than theirs. All right.
Yeah.
So.
All right, man. So, hey, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Man, this is some crazy stuff. Do you really think that the Communist Manifesto is Satan's counterfeit of the Book of Mormon? And is, the Great Reset really just Satan's counterfeit of the restored kingdom of God?
I just want to plug in there real quick. You have, as a consequence of the Restoration, we have things that speak about how the Constitution is divinely inspired. And the Great Reset is so authoritarian, so beyond what a republic would have actually been. It's all about all of the people with money, power, and influence combining together to then, like in a secret combination style setup, get together and then infiltrate the governments of other countries to get them doing the things that they want to be doing, and like getting their policies put forward so that they can make one world government. This is very clear. If you look up anything Klaus Schwab has to say, you're going to see him saying these things where he's like, we're advocating for a major change in the way that the world works. They want to overthrow the divinely inspired principles that we have in things like the Constitution and replace them with authoritarianism.
And I'm going to do Richard's plug for him. How do we fight this? We vote libertarian, right?
We live libertarian and by extension vote libertarian.
And then also support the Mises Caucus of the
Yes.
Libertarian Party specifically, right?
If you so choose. That's secondary. The primary focus is living liberty first.
You know what's actually kind of funny too is that as we do this, looking at this table right here, we literally have a guy from the Mises Caucus of the Libertarian Party, a dude who's in the Forward Party currently, a guy that served in Republican office right here, and was the #1 Andrew Yang channel, who was a Democratic candidate in 2020 for president. And then you have the president of the Democratic or the BYU Democrat Club right here. And all of us can agree on one thing. Karl Marx was straight up satanically inspired, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that is crazy.
Yeah.
So let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for hanging out with us. This is Midnight Mormons. See you guys in the next program. Hey guys, Cardinellis here. I am the creator of Midnight Mormons, and first I'd like to say thank you for watching this video. We know in an attention economy, there's all kinds of podcasts and shows you could be keeping up with, and you chose to be here with us. That means a lot. Thank you. If you haven't had a chance yet, please consider contributing to the channel through Venmo. If you haven't liked, shared, or subscribed yet, please do all of the above. And 3, right now we're actually taking sponsors for the program. If you have a product or you have a company that you would like to publicize, please reach out via the website and we will have that conversation. Again, we know there's all kinds of programs out there that you could be listening to or you could be watching, but you chose to be here with us. For that, we are grateful. And we look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.